Xbox's Age of Empires 2 and Age of Mythology Retold are coming to PlayStation 5. Samuel Tolbert over at Windows Central. Dude, nothing is off the table.
Nope.
At this point, right? More Xbox games are headed over to new platforms. This time, it's two legendary real-time strategy games, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition and Age of Mythology Retold, which are coming to PlayStation 5 at some point in spring and in March 2025, respectively, as shared by Xbox just the other day. Naturally, these games will support full cross-play between Xbox, Windows, PC, and PlayStation 5 players. The new updates are arriving simultaneously across all platforms. Age of Mythology Retold players on PlayStation will also be able to buy the upcoming expansion, Immortal Pillars, which is adding a reinvented version of the Chinese faction. Immortal Pillars is slated to launch on March 4th, 2025 for all platforms. Age of Empires and its popular spin-off, Age of Mythology, are shepherded by World's Edge, a team under Xbox Game Studios that works to partner with other developers in remaking older games while also developing new titles in the storied franchise. Over the past few years, the teams have launched definitive editions of Age of Empires 2, and Age of Empires 3, as well as crafting Age of Empires 4 and ambitiously remaking Age of Mythology. Dude, they've been busy. This news comes shortly after Xbox recently confirmed that Playground Games Forza Horizon 5 would be launching on PlayStation 5 at some point in spring 2025. A PlayStation 5 port of Bethesda Softworks machine games Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is also on the way, with a planned release date of some point in the first half of this year. Xbox is continuing to expand its reach, bringing games across PlayStation and Nintendo platforms as a platform holder focuses on expanding its profit margins. Many of the upcoming titles in the Xbox first party lineup are coming to PlayStation 5 on day one, including id Software's Doom, The Dark Ages, and Xbox Game Studios publishing Ninja Gaiden 4. Microsoft CEO Phil Spencer has noted he wants to continue innovating in hardware and believes that moving forward, said innovation should be the reason players choose to pick up Xbox hardware instead of something else. Thoughts, Michael?
Now, that last sentence I don't think is... that one doesn't quite make sense, Phil. Why don't I just pick up a PlayStation and play all of your games day one at this point? Because, yeah, as you said, it's just another domino to fall. I think we're really waiting on the last two major dominoes, which is Fable, which we're supposed to be getting this year, and how that's going to interact with PlayStation. It's probably going to PlayStation at some point. I think the big question is...
Day one is rumored.
Yeah, I think that's the big question, right? So day one or the Indiana Jones treatment of like 3-4 months later, right? I think that's kind of the debate. And then Halo, right? Those are the last two remaining pillars. Once those go to PlayStation, these announcements are going to be basically meaningless because it's like at this point, it'll almost be more impressive when a game doesn't go to PlayStation day one or doesn't have a PlayStation port coming a few months later. So yeah, Phil Spencer's getting what he wants. We talked about it a bunch. I'm kind of split. I think it's the right thing for Game Pass, but I really do think we're hitting the end of Xbox hardware, which I never thought I'd see the day of, Drew.
Yeah, it's funny. Hit my mic. It's funny because I was talking to my cousin the other day, right? And he's like, yo, I was thinking about buying an Xbox. He goes, don't buy the S from what I saw. Should I pick up the X? I said, you should pick up a PlayStation. He goes, what about a Halo? I said, it's coming. He goes, no way. I said, I guarantee you. Eventually, at some point, it's coming over to PlayStation, just like everything else is. That's the Xbox motive now, is to put everything everywhere. It's not just PlayStation. It is also on Nintendo Switch. They've been on PC, obviously, for years now. Yeah. That's their market, right? PC, Xbox. So to keep expanding allows more games to get played by more players, especially when it comes to single player. Michael, I think that's the biggest thing right now at this point, right? What drives PlayStation? Single player exclusives. That word. Microsoft, they lost that race. Why? Because they haven't had any in years that have really kind of hit and pulled players in, right? So why not on a single player game, Indiana Jones, you play it, you beat it, then what do? You gonna go back? Dude, I ain't going back. I loved what I played. I had an absolute blast. Fantastic game. Never gonna go back to it. DLC's dropping. All right, now you got me, right? Drop the DLC when it launches on PlayStation 5 and the conversation sparks back up again, right? Sales start to roll in. They start to trickle in. I think that's the focus now moving forward. Fable, dude, it's going to be a one and done kind of situation. There will be those who then like People are still playing Red Dead 2 single player.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're finding all kinds of secrets. All that kind of stuff. I expect that for Fable. I think Fable's got the long-term destination for players to stick around for 200 hours plus, hopefully. But for those who want to just play the campaign, you can beeline through the story, have a good time, bounce out. Will you come back? Probably not. Others will stick around. Hey, did you know this secret, right? And all of a sudden you get the TikTok of that. That's where Xbox is now starting to change their motives and be everywhere. Will that console, when it does drop for Xbox, be enough to pull us in to buy an Xbox? Or when everything comes day and date on PlayStation, do we just stay there instead?